That's right.
Oh, boy. Gee, tell me about it, Uncle Spike.
Well, once upon a time, not long ago, there was a circus with all kinds of animals in it. There were big white horses that galloped around a big white ring. And little gray ponies that galloped around a little gray ring. There were a lot of big brown dancing bears. And a shiny black seal who played a horn while he bounced a big rubber ball on his nose. And a yellow giraffe with a long, very long, exceedingly long neck with brown spots all over it. And a little donkey who walked frontwards. And a little donkey who walked backwards. Yes, there were all kinds of animals in the circus, and they were all nice and friendly. Except one. And that was the lion, the most terrible, vicious, savage lion in the whole world. Everyone was afraid to get near him. He was kept locked up all the time in a special cage with extra thick, double-strong, super-duper heavy iron bars. But whenever he would roar, the bars would shake. And he would scare all the other animals. The big white horses were afraid. And the little gray ponies were afraid. And the dancing bears danced faster. And the donkey who walked backwards started walking frontwards. And the donkey who walked frontwards started walking backwards. And the giraffe was so scared that the brown spots fell off his long neck and piled up on the ground like pancakes. And the shiny black seal was so scared that he jumped into a great big tank and played his horn underwater. Yes, indeed, everyone was afraid of the terrible, vicious, savage lion. Until one day, a little clown whose name was Dodo joined the circus. And a very strange thing happened. Dodo was a funny little clown with a blue suit that had 3 big white buttons down the front of it. And a little hat that came to a point. He wore long yellow shoes that were much too big for him, and when he walked, it sounded like this. Dodo's face was painted white, and his nose was painted green. But best of all, he had a big red smile painted on his face. It was the biggest and happiest smile you have ever seen. It stretched from here all the way over to here. Well, one day Dodo happened to walk by the special cage with the extra thick, double-strong, super-duper heavy iron bars, where the terrible, vicious, savage lion was locked up. Suddenly the lion saw Dodo, and he stopped roaring, and he started to
Meow.
meow, just like a little kitten.
Did you see that? Look, the lion is petting that little clown.
I can't believe it.
Will you look at that? The lion is kissing that little clown.
No one knew what to make of it. They had never seen the terrible, vicious, savage lion act like this before. They didn't know what had made him become so gentle and act like a little kitten.
Meow, meow, meow.
They didn't know what had made him become so friendly with Dodo. But I do. You see, the lion only liked people who smiled. Whenever he saw people frowning and looking unhappy, it made him very angry. And that's why he liked Dodo so much, because Dodo had that big, beautiful smile painted on his face. And so the lion and Dodo became very good friends. Dodo used to ride on the lion's back in the big circus parade.
Meow, 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 meow.
Late one night after the show was over, Dodo was in his tent getting ready to go to bed. He had just wiped the big painted smile off his face with a towel when he suddenly remembered something and said, "Oh, dear, I forgot to say goodnight to my friend the lion. I'd better go over to his cage and see him before I go to bed." Oh, no, no. Dodo had a smile on his face. If the lion sees him without it, he might do something terrible. Oh, I hope nothing happens to that poor little clown. When Dodo reached the cage where the lion was kept, he stuck his head in through the bars and said, "Good night, friend lion." The lion looked up at the little clown. And Dodo said, "Good night and sweet dreams, friend lion." The lion kept looking at the little clown. He didn't recognize him without his big painted smile. Then suddenly, the lion jumped up and jumped at the little clown. Dodo pulled his head between the bars of the cage just in time. The lion reached through the bars with his mighty paw. He almost caught Dodo's big baggy clown pants. Dodo ran away as fast as he could with a piece ripped out of his pants. When Dodo got back to his tent, he hid under the bed, shivering with fear. He didn't know why his good friend the lion had tried to hurt him. Then he peeked out from under the bed, and he saw his face in a mirror. And Dodo said, "Now I see why my friend the lion was angry with me. He didn't like me without my smile." Just to make sure, Dodo painted the big smile back on his face. And he went back to the lion's cage and he said, "Good night, friend lion." The lion looked up at the little clown. And Dodo said, "Good night and sweet dreams, friend lion." And the lion went,
Meow, meow,
just like a little kitten.
meow.
He started to rub up against the little clown, and as he kissed him, Dodo said, "I must never forget to always wear my big painted smile whenever I go to see my good friend the lion." The next day, Dodo and the lion were doing tricks in front of all the people under the big tent. Right in the middle of one of the tricks, the lion reached over and licked Dodo's face with his big tongue, just like a nice, friendly dog would do. And he licked a big painted smile right off the little clown's face. The lion looked at Dodo and didn't recognize him. "It's me, friend lion. It's your friend Dodo. You know me." But the lion didn't know him. All he knew was that the big smile he loved so much was gone. The lion jumped at Dodo and got another piece of his pants. Dodo ran away as fast as he could.
The lion is loose!
Let me alive!
Help! Help! Run home!
And that's what they did. All the people ran out of the circus and back to the city. The lion ran after them. The circus guards were sent out with big guns to kill the lion before he could hurt anyone. While Dodo sat in his tent with two big holes in his pants and cried, "Oh, dear, if I could only save the lion. He didn't mean to hurt me. He just hates to see people when they aren't smiling. Oh, what can I do?" Suddenly, Dodo got an idea. He jumped up and said, "I know how to keep the people from being hurt, and I can save the lion, too." Quickly, Dodo painted the smile back on his face and ran out of the tent. He ran over to where all the animals were. "Hurry! You must come with me. We must save the lion." Dodo jumped on the back of one of the big white horses. And they all galloped out of the circus and started for the city. Soon they came to a river. Dodo jumped off the horse's back and jumped onto the nose of a seal. The seal swam across the river, bouncing Dodo on his nose like a rubber ball. When they got to the other side, Dodo said, "Thank you, friend seal." And the seal said, Then Dodo jumped on the back of one of the little gray ponies and kept galloping towards the city. When the little pony got tired, Dodo jumped onto the back of one of the little donkeys. This, of course, was the donkey who ran frontwards. Soon they reached the city. All the people had guns, and they were looking for the lion. So Dodo jumped off the back of the donkey, and he started to climb up the giraffe's neck. Higher, and higher, and higher, until he reached the top. And he stood on the giraffe's head where all the people could see him. And he called out, "Please don't shoot the lion. He won't hurt you. He won't hurt you at all if you will just paint big smiles on your faces. Please do this and save the life of my friend the lion." And everyone did. They all painted big smiles on their faces. Just then they heard the lion. He came running around the corner of a building. He was very angry. And then he saw all the people with the painted smiles on their faces. And he stopped roaring and he started to meow, just like a little kitten. He rubbed up against all the people and he was just as gentle as he could be. Dodo slid down the giraffe's neck. And he said, "You see, the lion doesn't like to see people frown and look unhappy. He likes to see smiling faces. And if we would all smile more than we do, we would all be happier and everyone would like us better. Isn't that right, friend lion?"
Meow. That's right, Dodo. Meow.
And all the people in the city agreed. And from then on, they always smiled. And as for all the animals in the circus, well, that's how the circus learned to smile.
Gee, that was a wild story, Uncle Spike. And you can bet you I'll always smile, too.